Hi, everybody. It's me, Gordon Firemark, the podcast lawyer, and I wanted to share with you a quick question that I got today that I thought might be of interest to everybody. Here it is. Is a podcaster allowed to take any audio from a YouTube clip and edit it into his or her podcast? Does giving the author of YouTube video credit at the end of the podcast make a difference? If not, how is this accomplished? By asking the person that posted the video? And if permission is given, does YouTube have the right to sue the podcaster in any way? And I thought I would just come online here and give you a quick answer to this. So the first question, is a podcaster allowed to take audio from a YouTube clip and edit it into his or her podcast? Well, the short answer is it really depends on what the nature of the use in the podcast is. You see, here in the United States, at least, we have the fair use exception or defense to a copyright infringement claim. And that basically is based on free speech principles. If we are using it for a purpose that the government, that society believes is an important one for social purposes, education, criticism, and commentary, those kinds of things. It leans heavily in the direction of finding a fair use and therefore not copyright infringement. But I need to be very careful. There are four factors involved in a fair use analysis, and I don't want to say that it's always going to be fair use if you're using it for criticism and comment. A lot also depends on how much you're taking relative to the amount of the whole of the original work. So that's another factor. Then the nature of the original work compared to the purpose and character of the infringing or alleged infringing use. And also finally the impact on the market for the original. Those are the four factors. Is it transformed in some way? Is sort of a fifth factor that plays into all of those fair use factors. So it's a tough call. If you're doing a commentary and you're criticizing the video that you're using a clip from, then I think you're in pretty good shape, assuming you're not using too much and you're not being overly commercial about it. Those kinds of things. But unfortunately, it's an ad hoc analysis. We have to do the analysis on the basis of each clip that we use. And the other thing to remember is that this is fair use. It's the U.S. principle, and it comes from the United States First Amendment, free speech and free press. It doesn't work or apply in every other country. Some countries have similar principles and others don't. So it really depends where your potential plaintiff, the person who posted the video, is from and where your largest audience is going to be and so on. Now, most of the time, fair use if it's fair use here, we get away with it. But theoretically, it is possible that a foreign copyright owner could sue in their home country and prevail. So that's something to think about. Now, next part of the question was, does giving the author of the video credit at the end of the podcast make any kind of a difference? And on this one, I'm going to say yes, but not in the way you might think. Now, giving credit is nice. If you're using it and you're sure it's fair use or something like that, yes, it's nice to give that credit. But if it turns out that it is an infringing use, then that credit is a smoking gun that proves you knew it belonged to somebody else. So, it's a judgment call whether to do this or not. I think it's the right thing to do, and it may avoid somebody getting ticked off. Certainly, if you use a clip and you link to the YouTube video that the clip is taken from, that's a good indication that you're saying, hey, there's more of this stuff over there. Go look at it and that kind of thing. Finally, the next question was, if that's not automatically possible, how is it accomplished? By asking the person that posted the video. And the answer here is that's exactly right. Reaching out, and this is the basic rule. If you need to get permission from the owner of the copyright in the clip that you are using. So if somebody's made a YouTube video and you're using a clip, then you should reach out to them, ask for the permission, and then, assuming that they give it, get it in writing. Get the permission in writing. You may have to purchase a license. You may have to pay them something to purchase the license. Otherwise, it's considered a permission and it's a free thing. But you want it in writing that grants the scope of the rights very clearly. And you want to be getting it in writing and documenting the case. Okay. And then finally, the last question: if permission is given, does YouTube have any right to sue the podcaster in any way? I haven't gone and looked at the YouTube terms of service, but the answer is generally no. I've never heard of YouTube going after somebody for taking a clip from a YouTube video, because frankly, the ownership remains with the copyright author, not YouTube. So unless it was a made by YouTube video, then I don't think there's any reason to worry about that. The podcaster's liability would be to the owner of the copyright and not to YouTube, which is essentially a licensee. So that is the answer to these quick questions for podcasters. And if you have questions like these, head on over to firemark.com/questions. Fill out the form, and I will try to get back to you with an answer. All right. Thanks very much. Have a great day.